Swaminarayan Bhagavan says, in addition, he accepts whatever words of advice God and Sant offers as the highest truth, but does not doubt their words in any way. So, not seeing the faults in God and Gunatit saints is one thing. But when God or saint says something to us to clarify or to remove our own impurities, then if we are not respectful to God and saint, we could feel offended, And we may think that why so-and-so is picking on me. Why so-and-so is telling me, But what Swaminarayan Bhagavan is saying, that if the words of advice from God and saint is considered as the highest truth, then that devotee will have removed so many previous negative deeds from his own chart. There was one example in the time of Lord Swaminarayan, that one farmer who was traveling in a bull cart, and Swaminarayan Bhagavan was also walking on the road. So this farmer, out of his goodness, offered Swaminarayan Bhagavan to sit in the cart, So Swaminarayan Bhagavan sat on the cart. So then, on the way there was another gentleman who had the bag of ornaments, and he was traveling, and he asked for a favor to sit in the cart. So this farmer is asking Lord Swaminarayan that should I also take with us also or not. And Swaminarayan Bhagavan says, yes, take him. And Swaminarayan Bhagavan says, let him sit next to you, where you are in the driver's seat, Now, during the course, the bull cart was rattling, and unknowingly, that bag fell down on the roadway. Then they went further mile away, and he found out that my bag is lost, So he thought that what happened to my bag? Normally we don't doubt on anybody first, But Swaminarayan Bhagavan went out of the way and told that person that this driver, farmer, stole your bag. And this man was so mad, and he beat him up, And then he got out of it, and then the farmer and the god moved further on, So on a normal worldly way, it would look like that Swaminarayan Bhagavan did not do right, Why unnecessarily he beat the guy who gave the ride, He made the other guy to beat the guy, who gave the ride, But down the road, this man told God, that I gave you the ride out of my goodness, and I got this thing in return as beating up by this other man, And I asked you also that should I give the right to that man? And you had said yes or no. So, what is wrong in me, What did I do wrong, that all this thing happened. So now on a small picture, it is not making any sense. It is like that, this is unfair. But Swaminarayan Bhagavan explained him that this man was your enemy in your past birth. And he had done things to you which in return he was going to kill you, in this birth. But I eradicated that bad, omen of killing you by a small beating up on you, and your past deeds are now eradicated. Now, who would think and who would know all that? But if a person knows that whatever my God is doing is okay, whatever my God is doing is good for me, then that would make sense. We see in Bhagavad Gita, for example, that a discourse between Lord Krishna and Arjun. Arjun clearly says, I don't want to fight. I have no interest in fighting with my relatives. Which makes sense, But when Lord Krishna explained him all these 18 chapters, then he realized, that he is not a common fighter, he is not a common person, This is a divine play already planned by God, and he has to become nimit. He has to become instrument. And then, when he did that, today we are still remembering Arjun, the best devotee of God, Lord Krishna. And as a result, he has been, along with Krishna, as Nar and Narayan, in the temples. Nar is Arjun and Narayan is Krishna Bhagavan or similar deities. So, when we really think that when God is saying something for our upliftment, no matter how hard and difficult it may look to us, if we humbly accept that, that would elevate us, to a higher level. And I can say it is not easy, Even the mightiest have failed, That they would doubt, they would argue, and they would even get out of it, quit the company of the satsang and God, But again, it is their chart, In their chart, if that is not meant to be, it would take more time and more birds to clarify and cleansify, then it's up to them, Now, it's not that God is making you to go to those many birds. It is you who have to, change from within and say that I want to not argue, I want to not disagree with the statement that my God and Guru has made, And if a person crosses that hurdle, then he would see the benefits also in many folds, So, this statement is saying that when God or His saints are giving the disciplinary actions, hard words, or So, moreover, he never perceives any faults whatsoever in God. In addition, he accepts whatever words of advice God and the Sant offers as the highest truth, but does not doubt their words in any way. If there is no doubt, then you elevate. Thus, when the Sant tells him, you are distinct from mind, body, indriya, and prans. You are Satya. You are the knower of the body, indriya, and prans, which are all asatya. He accepts this to be the truth. Now, in a worldly way, this is very difficult to absorb. But as we come in satsang more and more, and as we hear this thing more and more, then we pick up this spiritual height. So, a Sant is telling that you are not the body, you are not the mind. This is all bogus. Hariprasad Swamiji tells to his saints, that all Tyagvallabh Swami is name given to you, but you are not Tyagvallabh, it is bogus. You are Atma, you are Akshar. That is more of a permanent identity. So, even though we are given name at the birth, we should not be attached to that name all this way to have this new name or new identity lost. We don't want to lose our new identity of soul by the old identity of ourself. So this is one topic, that Swaminarayan Bhagavan has given. Now, even if somebody has come in satsang and he is given a new name, Muktanand, Brahmanand, Premanand. So, that identity is also not the final identity. Your final identity is that you are Akshar, you are Brahm, you are the highest entity. So, if we live with that identity within ourselves and every day think that I am not with this name, then we would have a new wisdom. Just like a person who is a poor person and is now accepted by a very rich man, Bill Gates, for example, let's say, adopted by Bill Gates, So now that person's identity is changed, That person would no longer have to stand in the line to unemployment line or for the job searching line, or would not have to, do the business, hard work, to elevate to that level. He has all these things acquired by just accepted as the family member of Bill Gates. Same way, we have been accepted as the family member of these Gunatit saints. And now what we have to do is we have to live with their consciousness. We have to live with their way of elevating us. That we are not this body, but we are soul, the real identity from within. And if we start living with that identity, then we have really pleased them, or we have really made them happy, Now the question may come, that even with our eyes open or our eyes closed, we are not able to absorb that I am Atma or I am Akshar. Even when we close our eyes, we see darkness. So how can we say that I am Akshar or I am Brahma, It is kind of difficult, Just like one first grade kid, if you tell that kid that, okay, Einstein's theory of relativity E is equal to mc square, accept, it would be difficult, for that first grade kid, But once it is over and over and over taught, and explained to him, then he would one day, accept that. So we are also maybe not to that level, and it would be harder for us to accept, but if we don't doubt, but we try to cooperate with these Gunatit saints, then it will make us, their chosen one. So, to accept ourselves as soul and not as body is the one example, Swaminarayan Bhagavan has given. Same way, we don't want to accept ourselves as mind, Our mind is also false, But we love our mind, Whatever our mind tells, we do that, We are slave of our mind. Mind is not our slave, Mind is not guided and controlled by these divine laws and divine guidance, So that is where the problem and conflict starts, But if we start saying that, okay, I cannot identify myself as soul and Atma, but I can say that saint is my soul and Atma. Just like my inside tells me to get up, I get up. So now I want to wait until saint tells me to get up. Then I will get up. Otherwise I'll stay sit. So if we transform ourselves into the saint's self, then we would have totally a new birth, We would be a new identity, new person, So that is what Kakaji says, that even for 1 hour you change your name. That you are not so and so. So then for 1 hour, what do you want to identify yourself? You want to identify that you are Brahma Swarup and humble of the humblest of God, or his devotees. Das na das. So with that kind of programming within ourselves, we can remove and purify ourselves faster, So just try to practice this thing, for a week or for a month, and see how that affects you, That tell yourself that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the prana, I am not the prakriti, I am not the indriya, but I am the entity beyond that, which is soul. And oh God, make me understand, make me realize myself. And by doing that, it will really give us a different light, It would give us a different identity. We have to imagine, that a person who becomes a relative of Bill Gates, the identity is changed. That person feels totally different. He forgets the past, does not worry about future, but enjoying the present. We want to do the same way, We don't want to be worrying about the future. We don't want to be unhappy about our past, but we want to be really enjoying the present moment, And if we do that, then it would be our victory. Now, some of us may think, that to leave that elevated level, is not easy. But let me give you one example. Our Pintu Bhai, he is practicing to be a vegan. he has decided that he wants to be a vegan. Now, what is vegan? That he would not hurt even animals, by having the milk or milk products or any of such things part of his diet. So, a person who is vegan is higher than the person who is vegetarian but not vegan. We are still not hurting animals, but if we drink the milk or use the milk products, indirectly we are hurting those animals. So our level of thinking is next level of the vegan. The third level person who may be not vegetarian, or let's say even we put one more level, that one is not even eating garlic and onion versus one is eating garlic and onion. There are two different levels. So, mentally, a person who is not eating garlic and onion would think better than the person who is vegetarian but still eats garlic and onion. The other way around, the person who is eating garlic and onion will respect the person who is not eating garlic and onion, right? And that person will respect the vegan who is even higher than that. So there are levels, Vegan, the one who does not eat garlic and onion, one who eats vegetables. Now the fourth level is that one who may not be vegetarian, and he may be just eating meat also, But he is eating meat not by killing animal personally, He is eating meat by buying the meat from the stores, So that person is at that level, and the person who kills violently animals and eats meat is even at the lower level. So all these levels are identified as one has to transcend and go to the higher and higher and higher and higher level. And if that level is achieved as a vegan, then we are happy, But can you imagine a person who is eating meat, to have that thought to come to him, to not to eat the meat and become vegetarian? Is that easy? No, it's rare, And all of us are here in that way trying to live that advanced way of life. So in our day-to-day practice, we are doing that way. So in spirituality also we have to live that way, that someone who is living in the body consciousness, not knowing even oneself, or not living even as a human being, living like an animal, is better than the one who is a disciplinary person. And the one who is coming to the satsang is even higher than that person. And the person who is coming in satsang and serving and helping others is higher than that. And even that, somebody is living with this body, beyond body consciousness and the soul consciousness, is even higher than that, So, we want to be fortunate to be in that understanding, in that level, So, we try to practice that ourselves. We try to repeat that ourselves, that every day if we repeat, I am not the body, but I am the soul. હું દેહ નથી પણ હું આત્મા છું, હું અક્ષર છું, હું બ્રહ્મ છું. So by doing that, the new program will come within ourselves. And that is what Bhagavan is saying here also. I think we are getting close to 10 o'clock, and maybe we should just pause here, and we will continue next time. અને અમારી next ફ્રાઇડેની સભામાં બી સરસ વચનામૃત. કયું વચનામૃત આપેલું છે બેટા દિશા? Oh, you have to pick? Okay. If you need any help, beta, you let us know. Huh? Chalo to, let us have a dhun for 2 minutes and then we will see you on Sunday. Sajanand Swami Maharaj Ni Jai.